So chapter 4, Jnana Yoga, that is yoga of knowledge. So very interestingly, right, in chapter 3, what did Lord Krishna tell us? He's telling us about the lust, right? How it is covering our knowledge and all this tamas guna, it is all binding us in this cycle of birth and death, right? This is what Lord Krishna told in chapter 3. He also said that you must do your karma. So what kind of karma? You have to do your duty, detached way, in a detached way. So dutiful, detached work, that is karma yoga. And what it means, it will mean that we will attain, we will be able to go to that spiritual realm. If we will be able to get that transcendental knowledge. So what does chapter 3 tell us? Chapter 3 tells us that we can get that kind of spiritual or transcendental knowledge. It glorified chapter 3, and it is going to elevate us also. How? From first we will have that sakam karma yoga, right? We will have some interest, some selfish interest will be there a little bit. Then that will move on. If we keep on chanting, keep on reading, we will move on to nishkam karma yoga, where we are doing everything for God, right? So then slowly we'll get that intelligence, we'll get that strength from inside. It will happen from inside. And we will be able to overcome what? The dangerous enemy, which is lust and lusty desires. Then we'll get that power. When you charge your phone, how much power it has, 100%, like that, we'll get full power to do what? To cheto darpana marjanam, to purify our consciousness. From slowly we move to lower modes to mode of goodness. So this chapter 4, what is this? This is yoga of knowledge, jnana yoga. So it is emphasizing, from the word itself, you can see that it is going to emphasize on what is that knowledge. What is that knowledge? How did they receive? How is it going to help us, right? So it is going to means it's perform at the highest level of karma yoga, right? We have to surrender all the work to Krishna. Then one must know who Krishna is. So chapter 4 will give us that knowledge. So it will tell us the history of Bhagavad Gita, why Krishna chose Arjuna to deliver the science of Bhagavad Gita, why, how does Krishna appear, and all the 4 divisions of the society, right? So we'll understand all this today. What is the name of the chapter?
Karma
of knowledge.
Karma yoga is this. Karma yoga is this chapter 6.
Yoga of knowledge.
Yoga of knowledge.
Yeah, jnana. Jnana means knowledge. Yoga of knowledge. So now you are very clear which chapter you are reading today. Hare Krishna. Okay. So we have some imperfections. All of us, we have some imperfections, but that is why we are trying to read Bhagavad Gita, because Bhagavad Gita is something that will help us to get away from these. So why are we giving so much stress? Bhagavad Gita has been spoken by a personality who is not having these imperfections, because we are having. So what are these imperfections that we are having? We always make mistakes. There is nobody in this world who will claim that, oh, I have never made a mistake, right? We have always done that. Then illusion. That's the next imperfection. We accept something in place of something. We are accepting right now, we are accepting I am the body. I have a soul. I am the body. Right now we are doing that. Instead of saying I am a soul and I have a body, we are not doing that. That is illusion. We take care so much of our body and too much importance is given to it. Like you should take care of it so far as it is healthy. That's it. Like in darkness, if you are walking by and you see a rope lying down, you get scared and you say, oh, it's a snake. But actually it's not a snake, right? It's just a rope. So that is kind of illusion. Then there is cheating propensity. We have that. And we think that we are much clever than the other person, and we are able to cheat others. And inside our mind will say, oh, we did it, we could cheat. But that's imperfection, right? We think we are so clever, we have cheated. Even as Srila Prabhupada keeps telling about the customer and the shopkeeper. Shopkeeper is feeling very, very happy. Oh, I'm giving you so much discount. And the customer is thinking, okay, I have bargained so well and I've got it for low price. But the shopkeeper will never, ever sell for a loss. That's for sure, right? So this is a cheating propensity happening. Then we have imperfect senses. Senses are very, very, very blunt. The If you switch off the light, I won't be able to see. The eyes cannot see, right? Only when I switch on the light, I will be able to see. The senses are not, it's completely not, it's conditioned, right? To a certain condition it works. So Srila Prabhupada said, he explained, he said that Krishna explained to Arjuna that this lust that is sitting in three places. What are those three places? Mind, intelligence, and our senses. So you see, we have imperfect senses. So these senses, we have to deal with them. We have to deal with them in a very diplomatic way. How? So we have to tell the desire has to be replaced. That desire towards Krishna has to be made available instead of having that desire for material things, right? For example, if you have a glass of water and I don't want the water in that, what do? I have to throw the water out and I have to replace it with milk. Suppose I want to drink milk in it. What do? I can't just say, okay, I will add milk in the water. That cannot happen. I have to empty the water and then only I can put milk in it, right? So similarly, if we want to have Krishna consciousness, what do? My mind is completely occupied with, okay, I have to go to the pub, I have to go to the bar and drink, I have to smoke, I have to do this, I have to do that, all material conceptions, I have to do shopping, this. Mind is occupied with that. So what do I have to do? If I have to put Krishna consciousness, I have to empty that and replace Krishna on our mind. Then slowly what will happen? The lust that was occupying that position, this very strategic position here. So the moment it is occupying that, slowly it will be defeated. So we have 4 imperfections, as we had said again, right? You remember the 4 imperfections? We commit mistakes, we have illusion, then anybody remembers?
Cheating propensity.
Propensity,
of
then
Imperfect senses.
imperfect senses. Very good, very good, very good. Okay. So let's see the history of Bhagavad Gita. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha imam vivasvate yogam proktavanaham avyayam vivasvan manave praha manurikshva kave bravi. Yes, Atmaja Mataji. Hare Krishna.
The blessed Lord said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god. Vivasan and Vivasvan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku.
Ishwaku. Yes, yes.
Ishwaku.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare
So
Krishna.
Lord Krishna, what is he telling? He's saying, you know what? Long time ago, I had told this knowledge. It's not that this knowledge is being told to you right now. This is the first time I'm telling you. No, 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 no. Don't be mistaken. It was told to Vivaswan. Now, who is Vivaswan? 120 million years ago, he spoke to Vivaswan. So Vivaswan is the name of sun god. So he spoke to Vivaswan, he says, Vivaswan manave praha. So Vivaswan in turn again repeated the same thing to Vaivasvata Manu. Right? He is called Manu. Vivaswan manave praha Manu Ikshva kave bravi. So he told to his disciple Maharaj Ishwaku. Now, Maharaj Ishwaku was a great king. Who was he? He comes under in that he was a forefather of Lord Ramchandra. So you can imagine how old Bhagavad Gita is. So Lord Krishna is telling, no, 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 it's not that I'm telling you right now. It was told to Vivaswan. Vivaswan told to his disciple son Manu, and Manu told to his disciple Maharaj Ishwaku. That long it is, and what else he says, we'll see. Krishna first imparted the science of Bhagavad Gita to
Vivasvan.
Very nice. So you are attentively listening. Who imparted the transcendental knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to Ishwaku?
Manu.
Very nice. Okay. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshyo viduhu sakale neha mahata yogo nashta parantapa. Yes, Sunaina Mataji.
This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it appears to be lost. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. It appears to be lost. That is what he's saying. So Lord Krishna, what is he saying? He says, I gave that instruction. I imparted into sun God, and it was coming by disciplic succession, one by slowly to. Now it is lost. Now Srila Prabhupada, how he explains this is in one of his lectures, he explains very nicely. He says, why is it lost? Do you think that there were no learned men during that time? No, that's not the reason. There were so many learned sages and so many, dozens of them. But Lord said, Krishna said, that knowledge which I exactly imparted to sun God is now lost. So how is it lost? The lost means Srila Prabhupada says the purport of the Bhagavad Gita shlokas was lost. Bhagavad Gita shlokas were there, but the explanation in detail was lost. Why? Because scholars, whoever came, they started interpreting in their own way about Bhagavad Gita, but that is not Bhagavad Gita. Srila Prabhupada says Bhagavad Gita is the purport that Krishna wants to tell. Not any student of Bhagavad Gita just takes up and starts writing according to his own whims and fancies. So that's not Bhagavad Gita, says Srila Prabhupada. So he says, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna that it is coming down by disciplic succession. So what is that disciplic succession? It is Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So we must follow the footsteps of those who are pure souls. So Arjuna has been told that you should surrender, act in Krishna consciousness, follow the footsteps and of the Lord's previous disciples also, such as Vivaswan, who is the sun god. So that's what Krishna says over here. So he says all the liberated souls in ancient times acted with this understanding of my transcendental nature. Therefore, you should also perform your duty following in their footsteps. So we have to understand that unless we are the devotee of Lord Krishna, it's not possible to understand what is Bhagavad Gita. It's not possible. So nobody can understand Bhagavad Gita unless he surrenders. He has that faith. He is a devotee of Lord Krishna. That is the first qualification. If these many people are right now sitting and listening to Bhagavad Gita, means you are a devotee of Lord Krishna. You may be having the percentage of faith may differ, but doesn't matter. You still are devotee of Lord Krishna. It's clearly said over here. So let's see the disciplic succession. Yeah. So this is the disciplic succession. Ramanujam Sri Svichakre Madhvacharyam Chaturmukham Shri Vishnu Swaminam Rudro Nim Adityam Chatussanha. Means Lord Brahma. From Lord Brahma it was given to Madhvacharya. Sri Lakshmi ji to Ramanujacharya. Then from Lord Shiva it went to Vishnu Swami, and four Kumaras. From four Kumaras it went to Nimbakacharya. So Madhvacharya was chosen by Brahma. Ramanujacharya was chosen by goddess Lakshmi to represent her sampradaya. Vishnu Swami was chosen by Rudra, and Nimbaditya was chosen by four Kumaras. So Krishna has made such elaborate system, right, of education, so that we can get proper knowledge. So from Brahma, Lakshmi Mata, then Lord Shiva, four Kumaras, they continued with their disciplic succession. We have beautiful university, right? We just have to find a right guru to teach us. The process of receiving transcendental knowledge is
To understand
it through disciplic
Disciplic succession.
very nice.
disciplic succession.
Absolutely right. Perfect. Who was the first recipient of transcendental knowledge from Krishna? Who got it first?
Sun
God.
Sun God. Very nice. Yes. 4, 5, right? Yeah. Please, who is there? Shabnam Mataji. Please.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Arjuna said, the sun god Vivashvan is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed this science to him? So Krishna says, many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot. Arjuna, O subduer of the enemy.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So that
Hare
very
Krishna.
ancient science, this relationship with Supreme, Lord Krishna says, I'm telling you today, because I know you are my friend, not only my friend, but you are my devotee. That's a very important qualification. That is why, because you are my devotee, you will be able to understand this whole mystery of transcendental mystery of science. So Arjuna is asking, how did you teach Krishna? How did you teach sun god Vivaswan? Because see, Arjuna is not inquiring for himself. For those who believe, who do not believe in Krishna, a devotee of Krishna will definitely believe, right? He is above that misunderstanding of transcendental position of Krishna. He knows Krishna is ultimate. But those who are not, for them, Arjuna is asking, how come we both are contemporaries, right? How come you have told him? So now Lord Krishna explains to him, many, many births you both have passed. I remember everything, you cannot. Like what did he say? Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tava charjuna tanyaham veda sarvani natvam vetha parantapa. So he's saying that, you don't remember, I do. Like, because Arjuna has come here as a mortal being. Because see, even in Brahma Samhita, as I put it there, it is Brahma has said, Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Anantarupam, Adyam, Purana, Purusham, Navayovanam, Cha, Vedeshu, Durlabham, Adurlabham, Atma Bhaktau, Govindam, Adi Purusham, Tam Aham Bhajami. So what Lord Brahma says? I worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, Krishna, who is the original person. It is written in Brahma Samhita, he is the original person. He is the absolute person. He is infallible. He is without beginning. Although expanded into unlimited forms, he is still the same, original, the oldest, and the person is always looking like a young, fresh youth. You can imagine, right? So devotees like Arjuna, they are constant companion of Lord Krishna. Whenever they want to come down, descend on this earth, they want to do some drama or whatever they want to do, Lord Krishna will come down with whole team. So they always incarnate along with Lord to serve him in different capacities, different roles. So Arjuna is also one of those devotees. And in this verse, it is understood that some millions and millions of years ago, when Lord Krishna told the same Bhagavad Gita to sun god Vivaswan, Arjuna in different capacity was also there. But the only difference now is Lord and Arjuna. Lord remembers everything. Arjuna does not remember the incident because Lord does not change. He is Satchit Ananda Vigraha. He is Advaita, right? There is no distinction between his body and himself, whereas Arjuna cannot remember. Differences between the part and parcel living entity and the Supreme Lord. That's the difference. We are just Amsha of the Lord. Arjuna was called Parantapa, means who could defeat all the enemies, but he's still unable to recall what had happened in the past births. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Anantarupam, Adyam, Purana, Purusham, Navayovanam, cha, related to
Brahma Samhita.
Brahma Samhita.
Yes, very quick answer. Excellent. Why did Krishna decide to reveal transcendental knowledge to Arjuna? Why?
Because Arjuna
Because
was
Arjun was a devotee and friend.
Very good. Very good. Excellent answer. Very nice. What is the difference between Krishna and Arjuna? What is that?
Krishna
Krishna
can remember all incidents, but Arjuna can't.
Arjuna cannot. Yes. Okay. So now we'll see the life of Brahma. This you will be given the PDF, so you can go in detail. I will not spend too much time here. I'll just want to say that there are 4 yugas, as you can see down: Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is 4,32,000 years, and then into 2, 8,64,000, and into 3, 1.296 million years, into 4, 1.728 million years. All these 4 yugas make Divya Yuga. Then 71 Divya Yugas makes one manvantara. And then 14 manvantaras and 15 sandhyas, they make kalpa. And that is the 1 day of Brahma. So life of Brahma is how much? We can see 311.40 trillion years, 36,000 kalpas are the days of Brahma, and 36,000 kalpas are equal number of nights for Brahma. So you can imagine how huge the lifespan of Brahma, Lord Brahma is. So far, Lord Brahma has passed 50 years. He has 100 years. His spiritual 100 years, not material. Spiritual 100 years is the life of Brahma. Out of that, 50 years are gone. Six manvantras are gone. 27 cycles of 4 yugas are over. Satya, Treta, Dwapar yugas, these many have happened. Time, how much has finished in Kali Yuga? 5,117 years have passed. So this is what, this is the life of Manu. And accepting that the birth of, before the birth of Manu, the Gita was spoken by the Lord to his disciple sun god. Approximately, they are saying that Gita was spoken 120 million years ago to Vivasva. And when did Gita come on the earth? Somewhere around 2 million years ago, you can imagine. So you'll get the PDF, you can go through the PDF and see, and you can do the calculations. Okay. So yeah, here again, 1 day of Brahma, 1 hour of Brahma, 1 minute of Brahma is so much, 6 million years, and 1 second, 100,000 years. So let's move on. How does Krishna appear? So let's see this one. Ajo pisan navyayatma bhutanami ishvaro pisan prakritim swamadhisthaya sambhavam yatma mayaya. Yes, Charu Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all sentient beings, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So how does he appear? It's so surprising, right? Always he is always looking very young. Even at the time of the war, Kurukshetra war, when it happened, right? He had so many grandchildren that time. So if you think like in this earthly calculations or material calculations, if we think, he was quite aged by that time. He was a grandparent, right? But if you would see that time, he would look like not a day older than 25, you know, he would look so young. So that is why, what did Lord Brahma say in Brahma Samhita about Lord Krishna and his form? He said, right, Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam Madhyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha. He said that, right? That and you can always see whenever we go and buy anything, the deity of Lord Krishna, you will never see a aged deity, right? It's always beautiful, charming, young. Because he is actually the oldest person in the whole creation, right? Because he is the one who created everyone. So he is supposed to be the oldest person. He is past, present, future, everything you together. He is the oldest, but he is always looking very young. He because he is Satchitananda, right? His spiritual being. He is not material being. And you can see in the picture also. Who are these two in the picture here? What are they doing? Who are
Lord
these?
Krishna,
Devaki and Vasudev. Yeah.
Devaki and Vasudeva.
And what happened? Any idea? No? They are, you know, they wanted Krishna as their child, right? So Narayan Swarup, Vishnumurti, he came first. He appeared in front of them. They prayed to him. Then he transformed himself into a baby. So you can imagine, right? God will come in his own form. And then he transformed into a small baby for Devaki and Vasudeva. So that's how he appeared. Chaturbhuja Rupa. So let's understand when and why and what happens. When does Lord appear? Why does he appear? And what happens by gaining his knowledge? So when does Krishna appear? Let's see. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhyuthanam dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Shakya Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of ill religion, at the time I descend myself.
Hare Krishna. So we have understood. When he comes, he appears only when he wants to come. That is very clear. So when does he want to come? Whenever he sees, okay, too much of irreligiosity is happening, too much of this is happening, and there is no religion there over. There is nothing happening, no dharma going on. Everything is adharma. That's when he decides to come. Because the whole purpose, what is the purpose? Why should he come over here? What is the mission of incarnation? He wants everyone to have that Krishna consciousness everywhere. He wants that. That's the mission, right? So you can see in the picture also what has happened when you. Okay, I won't tell what is happening in this picture. Any idea? Why is that woman being killed? Who is that woman?
Mataji, that woman is
Devaki.
Devaki.
Devaki. Who is trying to kill her?
Kansa.
His brother
And
Kansa.
why? Why?
Aveshavani.
Because of the Bhavishyamani that her eighth child will be
That is
resurrected.
Devaki's eighth son. Well,
So who is Devaki's eighth son?
Lord
Krishna.
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 Lord Krishna. So, like you can see, such durachara, when such duracharas happen, comes trying to kill his own sister. Imagine. That's when Krishna decides nothing doing. There is a lot of decline happening, and there is too much predominance of irreligiosity. This is the time I will come down. So he just comes down. Complete the following verse. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhyuthanam dharmasya. Oh, everyone knows the shloka. Looks like it's a popular shloka, right? Yes. Okay. At what time does Krishna appear?
A decline in religion.
Dominant rise in irreligion. A and B.
A and B. Okay, very nice. A and B. Intelligent, smart way. So why does Krishna appear? Let's see. We said when he appears. Why he appears? Let's see. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Yes, sir. Kirti Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. In order to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I advent myself millennium after millennium.
Hare Krishna. So you see, he comes when? Millennium after millennium. To do what? We can see that. He has loads of people in his spiritual realm who can come down and do his work. He does not have to descend. He can just sit over there and manage from there. The agents the Lord has, they're very much competent to defeat all the demons, all the asuras. But Lord comes only and only for his unalloyed devotees. To kill the demon, he doesn't need to come. He can send, okay, please just go, so and so, kill him. That can be done. He doesn't have to personally come, but he comes for his unalloyed devotees. Because these unalloyed devotees, they are usually harassed by these demons. So he says, okay, anyway, I have come for my devotees. Let me finish this demon work also. So he will say, okay, let me finish this work also. So and demon harasses the devotees. And you can see that, here the devotee was harassed by her own sibling. Like, for example, you can see about Devaki Ma, right? Devaki Mataji was harassed by her own brother, Kamsa. And any other example you can think of? Who was harassed or tortured or given pain?
Hiranyakashipu.
Prahlad Maharaj.
Prahlad Maharaj. Yeah, he was the son of Hiranyakashipu. He was, mistreated by his father, right? Like Devaki, similar.
Sitaji by Ravan.
Who?
Sitaji.
Your voice was breaking. I could not get it actually. But okay,
I think Mataji is saying Sitaji by Ravana.
Okay, Sita ji by Ravana. Very nice example. Very nice example. Very sweet. Very nice. Thank you. Yes. Very nice. Yes. So that was there. And they were these, all devotees were ill-treated, right? So Lord Krishna, Sita ji by Ravana is like, yes, she was, but she herself was a goddess. So her own husband was the Lord. So Lord came to her rescue. Yes. So here Lord came for his devotees. Lord appeared mainly for Devaki Ma, right? And rather than killing Kamsa, he came to appease his devotee. And like that, it's said that he comes to deliver his devotees and defeat the demons. That is why he comes in different incarnations. So what is the benefit of knowing Krishna? Jarma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. Yes, Sunena Mataji.
One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode. O Arjuna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. See, it's so clear, right? Once you know, Krishna says, once you know about me, you don't have to enter another mother's womb. So if I don't enter another mother's womb means what? I'm breaking the cycle. Cycle of what? Life and death. I won't come back here. That's it. So he says, one who understands the truth, that why Krishna appears, why he does whatever he is doing, he's already liberated from the cycle of birth and death. And where do we go back? We go back to Godhead. That's it. Once we quit this material body. So such liberation of a living entity from this bondage of cycle of birth and death, it's not that easy, right? Yogis have tried. They tried to attain liberation. But so many births they had to take. They had to take many births, and then they could try. So it's not that easy. And that also they merged into Brahma Jyoti. That is Lord's effulgence, which is partial, right? And there is a risk of, because it's so isolated, there is a risk of coming down to this material world. But a devotee, a bhakta, fully immersed in Krishna consciousness, is always singing bhajans, is always doing kirtan, chanting, he attains Lord's abode after this death, because he does not risk coming back into this material world. He is already there. So what is the benefit of knowing Krishna? In chapter 13, if I remember correctly, it is Indriya Artheshu Vairagyam Anahankara Evacha Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. So what is the benefit? We will be escaping Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Dukkha Doshanudarshanam. So we will be away from all this. The moment we come to know Krishna, we will be in his Goloka Vrindavan, where there is no old age, no sickness, no bimari, no birth, no death, nothing. Everything is beautiful. Everything is so spiritual. People are playing, they are doing seva to the Bhagwan, and everything is happening, right? So, okay. So, but what is the difference between the mortal beings and Lord Krishna? So let's see that. What is the difference between us and Krishna? Krishna's form is spiritual, ours is temporary. Then we are controlled by Maya. Krishna controls the Maya. He is the controller of Maya. So such nice, right? Because Lord's body itself is transcendental and it's original. While we have this made up of 5 elements, gross, then we have subtle covering over the soul and all that. Lord's body is transcendental. Our bodies are perishable. Our body will go away, right? Krishna, he's known as Govinda also. He's Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is eternal. He is blissful. He has a spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He is the cause of Sarva Karana Karanam, right? We can quote from Brahma Samhita again. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Because just because we cannot see Krishna, does not mean that Krishna is not there. I always say that whenever there is a cloud covering the sun, doesn't mean the sun is not there. Sun is there. We cannot see it. That's it. That does not mean that, it doesn't exist, right? So our body is made up of these 5 elements and then subtle of mind, intelligence, and ego. So we can see, because we can see this body, because it is made up of material thing, we can see. But subtle, can you see? Can you see your mind? Can you see your intelligence? Can you see your false ego? No, right? You cannot see your mind. But everybody knows, I have a mind. I'm not a fool. I have a mind to think of. That's how we say, right? How do you know? You have not seen it, but we believe it. And we accept. We accept that subtle body is existing even though we cannot see it. Similarly, the soul is also existing, but we cannot see it. But we don't believe. Many people say, no, nothing like that. Soul is covered by this subtle and gross body. It is there inside, but it's covered, right? And when the death happens, what happens? The body is gone. The subtle body is there. And along with the subtle body, soul goes to another body. That's it. So does not mean that it is not there. God is same. God is young. God is permanent. We are temporary. He is spiritual. We are not. We are having physical, material body. He and his form are same. Our body is different from soul. It's not same. He is controlling all the 3 gunas of material nature, modes of material nature. We are controlled by the 3 modes of material nature, right? So right now, we may be in, even though Maya is there, but we are still in Sattva Guna, right? But still we are in like a puppet. We are hanging here and there, sometimes in Sattva Guna, sometimes Rajoguna, sometimes Tamo Guna, right? Let's see. Okay, what are the 3 reasons for the appearance of Krishna? Why does he come? Anybody remembers anything?
To protect
To maintain dharma, Mataji, and
To deliver his devotees.
Decline when there is a decline in the religion.
Yeah.
To save the righteousness people.
Very good, very good. All of you are right. 100 upon 100. To protect his devotees, to destroy the demons, to re-establish the principles of religion. Although Krishna mentions 3 reasons for his descent, he says 3, right? Which among them is the most important reason?
Establish the principles of religion.
Most important. Yeah, he comes for his
Yeah.
devotees only. That's the most important. Okay, has anybody in history able to know Krishna? Yes, please. Who will read? Diya Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Being freed from attachment, fear, and anger, being fully absorbed in me, and taking refuge in me, many persons in the past become purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attain transcendental love for me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So it's very difficult, for a person who is in this material world to understand Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's not that easy because Lord Krishna told in 7th chapter, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvam Iti Samahatma Sudurlabha. That somebody who knows me takes Bahunam Janmanam Ante. It takes many births to even understand me. And even if they try to, Samahatma Sudurlabha, very durlabh, such a soul is very rare who will be able to understand me. So some people, they are so materially inclined. They are so much attached. Even if you try to explain to them, they do not want to come into spiritual life. They say, no, this is not for me. Sorry, this is not my cup of tea. Some of them, they want to get into that spiritual realm, but they want to kind of merge into them. But some of them are atheist. They do not believe in anything overall, right? And they say, I don't know what is happening. What kind of spiritual speculation you're saying? They're completely out of hopelessness. They're angry at everything. But once you reach that prema stage, the love for the Lord, and you are in constant connection with the God, constantly engaged with the God, with the and serving him, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then what happens slowly, because we are using the process of devotional service, of course, under the guidance of a guru, we can attain the higher stage also. We'll be able to get away from all this, whatever it is, right? Madbhava magataha means what? That our human form of life is meant to go back to God, back to our permanent abode, right? So even if we are traveling all around the world, suppose you go on a trip, children will have holidays, so you will go on a trip, you will stay in a hotel, you will go to visit many countries. Does that mean that you will settle in that country and say, oh, this is my country? Is it so? Even if you're going on a trip, will you say it's my permanent home?
No,
No.
Mataji.
No, Mataji.
No, I love America, I liked Europe, I liked Switzerland, I like this country, but my home is in India. Similarly, we are part and parcel of Krishna. Mame Vamsho Jivaloke, Jiva Bhutas Sanatana. So we are part and parcel of Lord Krishna, says Lord Krishna only. You are my Amsha, says Lord Krishna. So we are his part and parcel. So our place, this is not our place. This is temporary. We have come to visit. We have to go back to our permanent place, which is Goloka Vrindavan. We have to go there. This is not our home. We are just wandering in these foreign countries. That is the knowledge we have to get from chapter 4. That is the transcendental knowledge that we have to understand. But those who do not get this knowledge, they keep thinking, this is my body, this is my permanent abode, this house is my permanent place, these are my permanent relatives. No. The moment you get the transcendental knowledge, to get free from these stages of this attached life of attachment, fear, angry, vita, raga, bhaya, krodha, once you get away from these stages, you have to take complete shelter of the Lord. And you have to be, and of course, under the Guru and follow all the regulative principles of devotional life. Then you will be able to, we will be able to go to that, back to Godhead. That is the transcendental knowledge that Krishna is trying to tell us in this chapter, that you have to get away from this and come to my abode. And if we surrender to him, then what did Lord Krishna do? Let's see. ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहं मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्यः पार्थ सर्वशः. Yes, please. Snigdha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respect, O son of Pritha.
Pritha is Kunti Ma, and son of Pritha is Arjuna. So Pritha, Partha. Partha is Arjuna, Pritha is Kunti Ma. So in the first picture, you can see how the calf is laying down just next to Krishna's feet. And picture number 2, Krishna is loving the calf. Picture number 3, the Sakha is trying to massage Krishna's feet. And picture number 4, Krishna is massaging the. So, ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyam. The way you will come to me, I will also do it the same way, whatever way. So, if you are going to show me love, I will reciprocate it that way. Whatever way you will do, I will reciprocate from similar way, right? So, if I want to serve Krishna as my supreme master, and I'm having a dasya bhava, I want to surrender to him in dasya bhava. That's how he will be with me. If I treat Lord Krishna as my personal friend, somebody may treat him like a son, some may treat him like his lover, her lover. So Krishna will reward all the devotees equally according to different intensities of love for him, whatever kind of intensity we have, right? So because see, all the planets, everything is resting on the energy of Krishna. Everything, all these planets you can see in the solar system, they are all in that, resting in the sunshine. Everything within this creation, it is resting in Krishna. Krishna shine means Lord Srila Prabhupada termed this Krishna shine. So all of these are potencies of the Lord. When we look at the sun, we say, Hare Krishna. When we look at the moon, Hare Krishna. When we look at the sky, Hare Krishna. All these are potencies of the Lord. It gives pleasure to a devotee. But one who is envious, he will reject. Who is a non-devotee, right? So then, what he is talking, it's all bluff, completely. But when one is a devotee, he'll say, oh my Lord, Lord is so powerful. He has created all this. Oh my God, how did he do that? And we start, thinking, and we are very proud, and we are filled with love and adoration. Like if our son, child, or somebody does some nice project and it's awarded, And we look at my son and did it, and so nice. He did it on his own. We're filled with adoration, love, and and a lot of, that's a proud moment for us. Similarly, the devotee has a proud moment, and he's filled with love and adoration for the Lord who has created this whole universe. But non-devotees will say, "What God? I am God." What are you saying? Everybody is same. We are all God. But say, okay, fine, you're God. Fine, take this little finger, lift the Govardhan hill. No, I can't do that. I'm a human being. I can't do that. Okay. Show your universal form. What universal form? I cannot do it. So that is the difference between a pseudo God and a God. So that is what we have to understand. It's not, just say something and not believe. So, there was in this regard, I remember the Narad Muni's story over here, who once he asked a Brahmana. He said, Brahmana said, you are going to meet the Lord. He said, yeah, I'm going to Vaikuntha Loka. Is there anything you want to say? Yeah, you do. Just can you please ask him, you're meeting the Lord. Can you ask him, when am I going to get my moksha? What is my moksha time and all? Can you ask? Okay, fine, I can do that. As he was proceeding, he saw a cobbler on the way. So he was mending the shoes, and cobbler also asked Lord Narada, oh, you're going to see the God? Can you please ask me, when will I get my salvation? Narad Muni said, okay, fine. Then he went to Vaikuntha planet over there, and he asked Lord Narayana. He said, Narayana, I wanted to ask you about this moksha and salvation. It's the same thing. Okay, moksha for the cobbler and the brahmana. When are they going to have? They wanted to understand. So can I get the answer from you? So Lord Narayan said, you know what? After cobbler dies, he will come to me. Then what about the brahmana? Narad Muni asked. No, I think he still have to go through many number of births before he can come to me. I don't know when he is going to come. Right away, not possible. But yeah, cobbler is coming. Narad Muni was completely astonished and shocked. And he said, okay, I don't know what you are doing, Lord, but your mystery only you can understand. And that Lord Narayana said, okay, go down, tell them the answer, you will understand. So when they ask you what I am doing in this abode, Vaikuntha abode, tell them I am threading the eye of a needle. The needle has an eye, right? You have to put the thread through it. So he said, I am threading the eye of a needle with an elephant. Tell them that. Usually you thread the eye of a needle with a thread, right? But you tell them that I am threading the eye of a needle with an elephant. Narad Muni returned to the earth, and he approached the Brahmana, and he said, oh, so did you see the Lord? Come, please tell me, what was he doing? Lord was threading the eye of a needle with an elephant. What? What are you talking? I don't believe in such nonsense. What are you saying, Narad Muni? Narad Muni understood why Lord Narayana told him that he is going to stay back many more births he has to take, because he had no faith. He was reading books, he was reading all the scriptures for what? When you don't even have the trust and faith. So he went to the cobbler. Cobbler also asked the same question, have you seen the Lord? And what was he doing then? So same answer Narad Muni gave. He was threading the eye of a needle with an elephant. Cobbler began to cry. He was weeping. Oh my God, my Lord is so wonderful. He's so nice. He can just do anything. I'm getting goosebumps also. So do you really believe that Lord can push an elephant through the hole of a needle? Lord Narad Muni asked him. Why not? Cobbler said. Of course I believe it. Narad Muni said, really? How? Tell me. So see, you can see that I am sitting right under this banyan tree over here, right? And you can see so many fruits are there. They're falling daily, they're falling down. And in each fruit, you can see there is a seed. And there is a seed, and there is a banyan tree like this one, that every seed will become a banyan tree. If within one small seed, there can be a big tree like this, because from that seed only the tree comes out. Is it difficult to accept that Lord is pushing an elephant through the eye of a needle? Is it that? So Narad Muni was shocked. That is faith. It is not the question. You don't have to blindly believe anything. But there has to be a proper reason behind the belief. If Krishna can put a large tree within small, small seeds, is it so astounding that he's keeping all these planetary systems flowing in that space with his energy, right? So scientists think that planets are held due to simply by nature alone, and there is a behind nature there is some supreme God. Do they may think nature is acting under his guidance, because Lord Krishna says, he says that everything is happening because of me. He said that because of his energy. What is the result of properly knowing about Krishna's appearance? Yeah, very good. Again and again. Krishna. Yes, please. Yes. Dharmi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Men in this world desire success in fruitive activities and therefore they worship the demigods. Quickly, of course, men get results from fruitive work in this world. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So that's the misconception we are having, right, about devatas of this in this material world. Because see, devatas, they are not different forms of God. They are God's part and parcel only. Like we are mame vamsho, we are also amshas, right? Devatas also are his limbs. But what happens, we foolish people, what happens to us? We worship the devatas because we want immediate results. So we will get the result, yes, but we do not know that these results are not permanent, they're temporary results. We will learn about this, more about this later in later chapters. Demigods will give us whatever we ask for, but that will be just material and temporary. Even the devatas, when Hiranyakashipu asked, I want to become Amar, Lord Brahma said, sorry, I can't do that, because I myself I'm away beyond that, because I'm also mortal. I will also have death one day. Of course, the time will vary, but I will also die. So that's not within my jurisdiction. So whatever devatas will give will be material and temporary. And what happens is we are all out running after sense enjoyment. We want all this material enjoyment. We want Lakshmi, we want this, we want that, we want money, everything. So we worship the devatas. So that's not going to happen, right? So Hiranyakashipu also worshipped Lord Brahma. He got the boon. He was selfish. He was cruel. He had attitude. Ravana also went and worshipped Lord Shiva with lot of ahankara he got, but they never had pure bhakti, right? Only Lord Krishna. Only Lord Krishna, he can deliver permanent results to us if we completely surrender to him. Otherwise, that's not going to happen. So, it indicates this verse whenever they say that we have all have kankshanta. Kanksha means a lot of akanksha we have. So we are rarely interested in Krishna consciousness. We are mostly interested in what we can get, how much promotion will I get, how much increment am I getting, where am I getting, who am I getting into, all material enjoyment, So we are worshipping some devata so that we can get it very quickly. Yes, please. Who will read? Sri Devi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mataji, your voice is breaking.
Three modes of material nature. My voice is just a minute, Mataji. Yeah, is it clear, Mataji, now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. According to the three modes of material nature and the work ascribed to them, the four divisions of human society were created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. Hare Krishna
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. So these varnas are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. But even if we are born in Brahmana family, we are eating non-veg, then he is not a Brahman. Shudra, he is working very hard, sincerely, he is not cheating, he is a Brahmana. So this is all guna. Chatur varnyam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagasha. So what Lord Krishna has made is guna karma. He has seen the gunas and karma and then divided. Not, Brahmana is eating non-veg, so he is still a Brahmana. No. Even if you're Shudra, he is working very sincerely and he is not cheating, he can be a Brahmana. So Lord is the creator. He is Everything is born out of him, right? He is the creator, he is the sustainer, he is the annihilator, everything. So what he did was, at first, he made different classes for divisions of social order. Intelligence class of men, he called them technically Brahmana. Then they were in mode of goodness. Then he made administrative class, technically Kshatriya. So they were situated in mode of passion. Then mercantile men called Vaishyas. They were into mixed mode of passion and ignorance. Like that, he made labor class who can do service to all others. Somebody has to do service, right? So service class was also there. So Lord Krishna, he doesn't belong to any of the divisions because he is not conditioned soul. Right? So Krishna, what does he do? He says that there is no caste system. He removes this misconception. All the spiritual paths, it leads to the same destination. Caste system is according to the gunas, the mode of nature, and karma, the activity. So we have to understand that it is not just because you are born in a Brahmin family, you are a Brahmana. No, according to your guna and karma, you may be a service class also. So we have to, whenever we are thinking about a job, we are thinking about what field to pursue. This is the shloka which helps us that whatever kind of guna we have, whatever kind of karma we do, that based on that we should choose, not on the external factors. Okay, somebody is pressurizing me to study medicine, so I have to. You may be so much interested in art according to your guna. You are very good at that art. So you will never excel that way. So if you choose what your guna and karma is, then you will excel in the field you will choose. So determination of caste by birth, it is not approved in Bhagavad Gita. It is disapproved. The 4 varnas of Supreme Lord mentioned were created based on
See, Mataji, quality and activity.
Quality and activity.
Yeah, call it guna and karma. Guna means quality, karma means activity. Yes. Yes, please. Who has to read now? We go back to Diya Mataji. Hare Krishna. Okay, and Snigdha Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Mataji. There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands the truth about me and does not become entangled in the fruitive reactions of the work. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Like, judge, when he's sitting on the chair, he's giving his judgment, right? He is giving his verdict. Whatever verdict he's giving, it doesn't, it is not, he is not subjected to that verdict, right? He will say, okay, he has to be imprisoned for 10 years. Does not mean the judge has to go. Judge is just giving his verdict, right? What does Lord Krishna do? He only gives us proper facilities for such activities, regulations. He is not responsible for our past and our present activities. Whatever we are doing. That's it. So Lord Krishna says he is not responsible for anything. He's just giving facilities. So we are only responsible for our own actions, not Lord Krishna. But one who knows this truth and he is fixing himself in Krishna consciousness, right? Then he is transcended. He has got this transcendental knowledge, Jnana Yoga. Like you can see how in picture number 1, who is that in picture number 1?
It's
Lord Krishna is
Sudama
serving
and
also.
Krishna.
Who is he?
Lord Krishna and
Sudama.
Sudama.
Sudama. Very nice. Picture number 2.
Bhishma Deva.
Yeah, Bhishma Deva wanted to see Krishna in warrior form. Yeah. 3.
All the gopis with Krishna Mataji.
Krishna.
Balarama
Balram.
and
Yes,
Krishna.
very nice.
Balrama.
Yeah. And 4th one,
Arjuna.
Arjun.
Lord Krishna became his charioteer. See, he is so down to earth, you can imagine, right? But the moment we understand this, how Krishna is, we will be getting this transcendental knowledge. So we have to understand that we have if we do Devata worship, we go to that planet. If we do Brahman worship, that partial effulgence of Lord, that is Brahman. Paramatma, that is the super soul within us, and Bhagavan, the absolute truth. So we have to understand that there are different flights going to different destinations. We have to decide where we want to go, and then we have to buy that ticket accordingly, appropriately. We have to, because Bhagavan's ticket may be little bit more expensive. We have to work very hard towards it. We have to do lot of chanting and be very purified souls to be able to take that flight. But if we take that flight, we don't have to come back to this material world, right? So yeah, so Krishna removes that misconception. Hare Krishna. Yes, Charu Mataji, would you like to read?
Hare Krishna Mata.
Hare Krishna.
The intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is.
Yeah, it is very difficult because karma means what? Action. Vikarma means what? Vikarma means action which is not recommended. Like you have in the picture, you can see they have asked not to park the car, strictly no parking. They have parked. That is vikarma, forbidden action. Akarma means doing everything for the Lord and nothing else. Completely working in devotion. There is nothing much anybody doing. So karma means doing your own duty, just pious duty. Vikarma means doing something that is not allowed, forbidden. Akarma means something which is doing completely without any reaction, doing for the Lord, nothing for your own self. So Lord, sage Narada was like that, and Raja Rantidev was another very close. Dhruva Maharaj, there are so many examples, right, Akarmi. So Raja Rantidev was also one of them. He was very, Narad Muni was, of course, everybody knows he's the biggest devotee of Lord Vishnu. And Raja Rantidev, once what happened, thousands of years ago, of course, it was told by Shukadev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj in Bhagavatam in Canto 9. He told that Raja Rantidev believed that he would have that Supreme Lord is present in each and every living entity. He was full of compassion for everyone, full of respect for everyone. And once, he fasted for so many days, maybe around 48 days fasting. Then once he was going to break his fast, sitting with opulent meal and all, a Brahmana came. So he immediately honored him and gave him that food and all that. Then he left. Then as soon as he was again going to sit, another laborer came. Again, according to Vedic, the Brahmana is respected. Laborers are usually not respected. But Rantidev Maharaj saw super soul in everyone. He respected him. He gave him also. He also left. Now, another man came as soon as he was going to eat. A man surrounded with dogs. So he said, oh, my dogs are very hungry. Can you please give me something? So he said, okay, whatever little portion is left of the meal, let me just give him. So he paid his obeisances, gave it to him also. By now, nothing was left except drinking water. As he was going to drink, another outcast man came. He was very tired, beggar, like a person is begging for some water. I'm really thirsty, king. King did not hesitate. The only thing that he had was water. He gave it to him. And he continuously told Lord, I'm not aiming to get moksha or anything, okay? I just want to be here and make sure that I'm able to help these living entities over here who are in so much of distress. That kind of rare compassion and akarmi bhava, that example of akarma is Raja Rantidev, where he is not thinking about himself, all the time about others and the Lord. So, he was actually being tested by Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, because the Lord Vishnu said, he is my very good devotee. He said, okay, we'll go down and test him. So they both come down. And then when they see, they were, really overwhelmed. And actually, King Rantidev could have asked them for any kind of a boon. But they said he was not interested even in that. He did not take advantage of the situation, right? We don't have such Raja Rantidevs in our modern society with so much of compassion. It's very rare to see. Nowadays, people come, they give lectures, they talk, even the politicians, they will talk till they get the votes, and that's it. That's what is happening. Even the charitable organizations, we don't know who to believe, who not to believe. That is the situation right now. So quickly, karma is pious action, enjoy, rebirth. Akarma means inaction, only joy, spiritual world. And vikarma means simple action, suffer and rebirth. So we have to understand that Krishna is not responsible for our situation, right? Like whenever the rain is falling on the ground, it will fall the same way, whether it is on the rock or an ocean or a fertile land. It's impartial, similar way. Yes, please. Hima Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him subsistently and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth.
That's what Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, they can tell us how to go, whatever problems we have, we can approach them very nicely in full surrendered mode. We should serve them first, and then without having any false ego. Then once they're satisfied, spiritual master, the Diksha Guru, they are very much advanced in their spiritual life. So whoever is a student must be very submissive, always ready to give service, and then try to get knowledge, and then everything will be perfect. That's what this shloka says. Yes. So teacher has to train in sacrifice, right? So once any student obtains that knowledge from a self-realized soul, he will never fall into this illusion again because he is getting this transcendental knowledge. Then there is caliber versus character. Caliber, where do you develop? You can go to any university. You can get that mundane knowledge from any university, any college. But the character actually develops by performing sacrifice, like chanting, controlling your senses mentally, surrendering to a higher authority, and then with humility and service attitude. That's how character is built, right? Caliber can be built. You can get skills from any university, you can go join anywhere and can get your caliber. But character is something that will always be with you. And the topmost sacrifice is chanting, reading, and sense control. You can see we do chanting, but what is happening, as you can see in the picture, we are running from the smaller cage to another bigger cage. For example, if we have iPhone 10, iPhone 14 will come, we'll move on to the next one. So we are just running after this. We are not bothering, life has become like small cage to big one. There is no freedom. We think that is freedom, but it's still a cage. This whole material world is still a cage. So from smaller cage, we run into bigger cage. That's it. It's like latest technology, right? From smaller features, it's giving bigger features now. More operational freedom it is giving. So we are moving into smartphone. Then we move into smartphone like that. So we have to understand that, if we read Bhagavad Gita, then it will help us. Sometimes we will take birth in lower species. Slowly we evolve and become a human being. We have got this precious birth now. We shouldn't waste. We should try to read more of scriptures as much as possible. Then we are getting lost into sense gratification. We have to get away from that kind of illusion. Try to control our senses. Scriptures help us. And they prescribe 4 principles. They are called regulative principles of freedom. What are they? We should be away from this non-veg, no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit relationship, no intoxication. We have to get away from all this. That's what is very, very important. Yes, Dharani Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Therefore, the doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. Armed with yoga, O Bharata, stand and fight. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Because Arjuna was declining to fight. He said, I cannot. So Lord Krishna is advising him, pick up your weapons, Arjuna, fight. Tasmad ajnana sambhutam. So he's saying, therefore, ajnana sambhutam, born of ignorance. This is all ignorance. You are fighting not for your family. You are fighting on my account. Tasmad ajnana sambhutam, vistam jnana sinatmanaha, itvaim samshayam yogam, tishtotishta bharata. Remove all the samshaya. Samshaya means doubt. Krishna is saying, shed all the doubts. Get up. Uttishta, get up. Fight, Arjuna. So he is the spiritual master of Arjuna right now. So he is giving the knowledge. He has imparted Arjuna the knowledge, the transcendental knowledge, the wisdom. From the practice of karma yoga, he has given him the transcendental knowledge, jnana yoga now. So he now advises Arjuna, use both your wisdom and faith, and then slash whatever doubts you are getting in your mind. And he's saying, come on, do it, do your work, take some action. He's asking him to get up and do the duty. Who is qualified for knowledge?
Submissive.
Submissive, one who surrenders. Yes, correct. Yes. So let's see. Eternal education. Who can acquire? A devotee friend. We have to have relevant inquiry and follow the instructions from bona fide parampara. What is it all about? When does Lord appear? Why he appears? What happens by gaining the knowledge? Krishna removes all the misconceptions, removing reactions, which is karma, vikarma, and akarma that we learned. Then sacrifices, we learned about the caliber versus character, and teacher who will train us in the spiritual master will lead if we behave in a submissive manner and serve him, right? Caliber we can get in any university, we can develop our caliber, but the character we can get once we are doing chanting, reading, and having sense control, right? That is what is chapter 4. He has given dual instructions, right? Refrain from action, engage in action. Now, slowly, engage in action, refrain from action, all this is confusing Arjuna a little bit. His mind is still having a lot of confusion. Not real clarity has not come in. So in next chapter, he will reveal that in chapter 5, which is, then we'll see this topmost chanting is there, chanting, reading Bhagavad Gita and sense control. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Thank you, everyone.